Welcome to the Inside Scoop.
From buyer to agent to advocate, meet Sheridan.
Ah.
All right. So Sheridan and I met at Lifetime Fitness, where she was teaching a boxing class that I attended on Friday mornings. And Sheridan says that it was always her favorite class of the week. No, not because I was there. But that it brought some of the most interesting and powerful women she's ever met into her life, which I think is a really cool statement. She has lived all over the place, grew up in Chester County, has lived in Montgomery County, but now has settled in Phoenixville, right? And where they absolutely love living.
Sheridan is the oldest of 5 in a blended family with 2 biological brothers and 2 stepbrothers, and is now married with a 2-year-old, adorable Lucas, and 2 cute dogs as well, who she says all make life very interesting and full. That's funny.
Yeah.
Sheridan, as you know, we ask each guest if you could sum up yourself in 5 key words, what would they be? And your 5 key words were fierce, curious, honest, creative, and compassionate. All true in our eyes.
100%.
Yep.
I could think of 5 more amazing words to describe you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We are happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, well, obviously, you know, we love having you on the team, and you have become a completely integral part of our team. So not only are you an agent, you're a listing agent and a buyer's agent, but you are also our marketing guru, which we loved having you.
So grateful to have.
Having you, a 30-year-old on the team who is attuned to social media in a way that we aren't, although we're good.
Yeah.
It's still wonderful to have you. And so,
And the fresh set of eyes too, having someone else.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely, which actually brings up the whole idea of you were our buyer originally, and then you became an agent, and then you have blossomed into this, not only just an agent. I would never call you just an agent. You have become a complete advocate for your clients. You want to tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate?
Yeah. So, Joymarie, you were my agent when my husband and I were buying our house. And as we were going through that process, I distinctly remember a day that the 2 of us went out together, and I was riding in your car. And it was probably halfway through the process. And I was like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be from who an agent was going to be. I knew I trusted you, but I also knew this was a sales position. So I think I had a different perspective of what this was going to look like. And I knew that you were highly successful and you had a very large book of business. And I kind of went into it thinking oh my God, she's never going to have time for us, tiny little first-time home buyers. And I was so wrong. And thank God I was very wrong, because our communication was fantastic. You were there as an advocate all the way throughout the process. And Corey too. I mean, you were there for our home inspection, and I felt so supported because I knew you guys were part of a team, but moreover, your communication was fantastic. And so shifting what my perspective of what a realtor was really important in me going, I know I love helping people to get to really big goals in their lives. And I honestly didn't think that this was a relationship business. I thought it was very transactional. And so my whole experience in buying my home totally flipped the script in that regard for me.
And that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And so then the pandemic comes.
Yep.
You're still at Lifetime, and
Things
the
shut
entire
down.
the fitness industry changed completely during the pandemic. That was one of the industries I feel like was hit the hardest in terms of
for sure.
It changed it a lot. And I said to you for how many times, the umpteenth time, Sheridan, I really, not for nothing, but I think that you would be amazing at this. I think this would really work for you. And I think at first you were like, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And then you decided to take it on.
Yeah. We had breakfast. I remember meeting you for the first time, out and not in a buyer situation. And
Right.
Yeah, we had a really
And
great conversation.
we don't necessarily recruit on our team. It happens very organically. If we meet somebody, and I think from the first time I met you, not just in boxing, but when I was doing my metabolic assessment, the way that you conducted yourself professionally, you were very knowledgeable, you were very relatable, and you were charming, and I wanted to work with you. And that's where I felt like this would be a really good fit. Went to Corey and said, I know somebody who I think this is perfect. We had lunch or breakfast. I don't even remember that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And and you got into it. When you first started, now as you've grown, how have you taken the fitness industry, what you knew, all of that professionalism, how has that, related to what you're doing now? Is it still filling your cup in the same way? And, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I very much think that they're similar. Like I often say, it's basically the same job. You just have a different, baseline of knowledge behind it because it is a relationship-based business and you are working toward a goal. So as opposed to me, meeting with a one-on-one training client and working toward a goal of getting stronger or better sleep or, whatever their goals are, this is that, but in a different lane. So it's, are you buying your first house? Are you, trying to purchase an investment property? Are you trying to move up in life? Like you're going through major life shifts with people, which to me is more impactful and fills my cup more than this other one, which is fantastic and I still love, but it is a very small aspect of someone's life compared to growing your family, moving across the country, getting new jobs, dealing with the death of a family member.
Divorce,
all
of that.
All the life changes that you could possibly go through are integrated in our industry. And so being able to be someone's advocate as they move through those changes is really gratifying. I mean, it's stressful and all of that.
I was going to say, don't glorify it too much.
Well, because it's stressful because you take it seriously.
Yes. Exactly. So I like that because it propels me even more. So that little bucket of stress that you have, as soon as you get over that hump, it's gone. You just poured it out, it's gone, and then there's another one waiting afterwards somewhere.
Right,
but
eventually,
as soon as you move through the complicated and challenging conversations, it's over, and then someone's glad that you had those challenging conversations with them because it got them to whatever the goal was.
Well, I think, you're clearly a lifelong learner. You are always asking really good questions. You're always reading new books. You're always investigating articles and podcasts and videos and trainings and things like that. And I think that has really propelled you to a whole nother level of being able to help someone achieve their goal. And you went back to doing a really good needs analysis, because that comes naturally to you. Mm-hmm. You're very confident in the way that you're able to deliver the information. You're also confident in the way that you're able to deliver, that's a new question. Let me go ask my team,
figure this out.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's no longer a new question anymore. And you have really, really leveled up. I mean, where are you now? Tell us a little bit about, maybe pat yourself on the back. I know this is a little awkward, a little uncomfortable, but, I can tell people why they should work with you. Why do you think that they should work with you? And I'm sure we're going to agree. So
yeah.
Well, it's my detriment sometimes in the back end of this business, but it's definitely a positive as I'm dealing with my clients. I'm very emotionally invested in whatever it is that they're doing. So that is something that I'm getting a lot better with handling, on the back end side of things, but it keeps me so interested and it forces me to just naturally, I'm not even aware of it, go find all the answers, go do all the research, go, negotiate all the things that I need to negotiate.
And what do we call that?
Resourcefulness.
That's right. We love that.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have that kind of true connection and really care about what the clients are working toward or going through or whatever, I wouldn't be that resourceful because it wouldn't feel totally necessary. But I really, want to know a lot more information than you would typically think as I start working with somebody. Do I care how many bedrooms you're looking for in a house? Do I care what you want to get out of the sale of your house? Sure. Yeah. And also, what are your motivating factors? How do I need to understand who you are as a person in order to advocate for you and communicate with you. And then once I understand that, we're moving.
Right. It's more than just, asking questions about, like you said, the basic things. Sure, we know it's a house. Is it a townhouse, single house, whatever, but lifestyle, I think, and that's probably what stood out to you when working with, Joymarie and myself for buying your own house is we did dig deeper into that. And
totally.
Maybe you're adapting some of that, we know you are because we see your clients referring other friends of theirs over and over again, which is so nice to see. It's
Right.
really cool.
There's a trust factor, and you take it seriously. And again, you said in the beginning, it wasn't just transactional, and it isn't just transactional. And these are relationships that we hope to keep for life, right?
Yeah.
And especially at the age you are. So you are 30 years old, you're married, and you have your son, Lucas. So you're going to be meeting all these people as Lucas gets older, and your network is going to grow and your sphere is going to grow, and you're such an asset to the people that are going to someday meet you, right? We call them not yet Mets, right?
Yeah.
You're such a valuable asset. Where do you see, you going in terms of real estate? I mean, you obviously want to become even more involved in the industry. Are there any goals that way? I mean, not just buying, selling, marketing, right? Are there any goals? I know that you're very interested in the, not politics, but the inner workings of real estate, the contracts and things like that, which again, makes you really, really valuable that you understand the contracts. Is there anything that you want to do upcoming with any of that information?
I think continuing the more variety of clients that I work with, the more, areas of opportunity that I see within the industry. And so a lot of things that relate to first-time home buyers, or even more specifically like first-generational home buyers, I think is a really interesting avenue, because those people who don't have anyone else to look to for advice as to, how to go through this process, they feel very alone. They're not usually as trusting as other people are.
Right.
So I very much enjoy dealing with clients who, just need a lot of guidance as they go throughout this process. And I think that there's a lot of challenges that are associated with working with people like that, because they don't necessarily trust you right away. So, I think long term, I have a big passion for, helping people. And I think even being able to teach people how to, gain trust and really get invested and do a needs analysis that is way, way deeper than, all the statistics that we're talking about. But understanding, how to speak to somebody in a way that they hear you and they understand you and they trust you is so valuable in doing this and doing life. I mean, it's just a valuable lesson everywhere. So that's something that is very much currently piquing my interest. And I think that there's something that's there that might be missing in our industry for some people. I mean, I know we all do that very well. But I hear it from clients and the feedback that they give about, the experiences that they've had in our industry. And that's something that, makes me feel like I just, I want to take you and help you and push you into this nest over here.
And we love that about you. I admire, I love seeing the passion that you have when you close on a deal for somebody who maybe was bypassed by a couple of other agents or didn't know how to even go about beginning the mortgage process, and you made it happen. You found somebody who quite literally spoke their language in a lot of cases. And this is a very fulfilling job. And again, we are so lucky to have you, and your clients are so lucky to have you. And
appreciate you being here today and talking to us.
100%.
Thanks for having me.
If you have any questions at all, please reach out to Sheridan. Her contact information is going to be in the post or the comments, and we are so lucky to have her.